I am not emotionally prepared to acknowledge the fact that we are starting July, the 7th month of the year. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jenny. This is Jenny Reads Maybe, where maybe I read or maybe I don't. For today's video, we are going to be doing my July TBR, or all the books I plan to read in July. Maybe not all of them, but the books that are on my TBR, on my radar, the ones that I have to get to by the end of the month. July is my birthday month and I'm traveling a lot, so instead of doing 16 books like I did in June, I'm going to be doing 8. These 8 books are books I'm super excited to get to, and continuing like series that I'm in. But let's get on with the video. So my first book, and the only physical book I currently have at the moment, is The High Mountain Court by A.K. Mulford. I have not heard a ton about this, which is surprising because I feel like it's like fae fantasy and people just like eat that up. But I will read the summary. So, for over a dozen years, 19-year-old Remy has known she is possibly the last Red Witch alive, and she is determined to stay that way. But the Northern Court King, who has slaughtered her family and placed a bounty on Red Witch heads, is intent on destroying her kind once and for all. When 4 Fae warriors find her, Remy comes face to face with the determined and handsome Prince Hale of the Eastern Kingdom. He claims he wants to stop a war with the Northern Court, and in order to do that, he needs a Red Witch. Yet, even as she's drawn to him, can she really trust this prince? If this could mean saving herself and her people and restoring her kingdom, does she even have a choice? So that sounds really good. I'm very excited to pick this one up. I have the audiobook, and it does start a series. I love fae romances. I love fantasy romance, and I am just super excited to get to this one. I believe there is going to be like a lot of LGBT rep and like involved in the world building, so I'm super excited for that part, because I love when like fantasy romance normalizes LGBT like activity and doesn't just kind of wipe it under the rug. So that'll be exciting. My next read would be In the Case of Heartbreak by Courtney Kay. Now, I love Courtney Kay. They write really great small town romances, and this is the second in her series, Fern Falls, and it's going to follow 2 characters who were in the first book. So I'll kind of give you the little snippet that I know. It's when his hometown crush suddenly returns his affections at a seaside celebration, pastry chef Ben Parrish must find a way to pursue his dream of moving his bakery to San Francisco without losing the love he's always wanted. I'm super excited for this. I have an arc for this. I read the previous book in this series as an arc last year and gave it 5 stars. I'm very excited for Ben's story, and I know it's like childhood friends to lovers, and it's probably going to be really angsty, and I am part of like the like cinnamon roll crew for this book, which is basically like early advertisement and reading. It's actually how I got the arc for this one. So that is book 2. I'm very excited to get to this one. Super heavily anticipated. Next is another arc, and that is Sammy Espinoza's Last Review. This is by Taylor K. Mejia, and I am so excited to get to this. It's their first kind of stint into adult romance, and it's following a music critic who's kind of down on her luck and going through it, and she is going to fall in love with a former like rock star who is breaking into his own venture in like a solo album. It's going to be super like LGBT friendly, and I'm just so excited to get to this one. Next is The Lucky Heart by Devney Perry. This is another book I'm super excited to get to. It is the 3rd book in the Jameson Valley series, which Dorothy from Tales of the TBR and myself are doing a read along for. We are trying to get through Devney Perry's backlist. This is the 3rd book. It's a standalone romance story that kind of follows Silas, a character that we've met throughout the first 2 books, and Felicity, who is another person who's kind of like down on her luck and going through it. Obviously, you can see that I love characters that are going through it. It's just a trope that I really enjoy. And they're childhood friends, and they kind of have a past that they go through, and I'm very excited to continue this. I love Daphne Perry's writing. While this series isn't my favorite series she's written, it's definitely cool getting to see like Daphne Perry's first series and the elements that are so key to like her writing style and like just who she is as an author. So I'm very excited to get to this one. Next is Not So Lucky by Trilina Pucci. And this is the Probably Smut book club pick for the month of July. It is essentially a marriage in Vegas. I do believe that there's going to be like hookups between her love interest and the love interest friends. I love a good marriage in Vegas story. I love the Wild Season series by Christina Lauren, and Daphne Perry does a lot of like marriage in Vegas. They're just super fun and give you that like Katy Perry, like that's what you get for waking up in Vegas vibe. And I'm excited to get to this one. I don't know much besides what I've already said, so it's going to be good. Next is a book I am so excited to get to, and that is Highest Bidder by Sarah Kate. I am so excited to be caught up on the Salacious Players Club series. This book is one that I have been pushing to get to. I love this series, and I love Sarah Kate. And I'm super excited for Runnicade because I've heard he's like the ultimate daddy, like romance king. It's a super big age gap. He is filthy rich, and he is going to win a bidding war for one of the women that are in like walking and kind of modeling and doing things for the Salacious Players Club. I'm very, very pumped to get to this one. I've heard so many good things about it. It is really highly rated. It's got like a 4.1 star rating on Goodreads, which is really good. And yeah, I can't wait to read this. It's going to be so fun. I have the audio. I'm ready for like steamy, smutty good times and Sarah Kate's like exploration of kink in relationships. Next is another like smutty good time, and that is Sinner by Sierra Simone. I read Priest in June and really enjoyed it, so I want to continue my way through the series. I've heard very good things about Sinner. It tends to be like people's like they like it more than Priest, and because I really like Priest, I'm excited to get to this. It does have the like teach me trope, and like an innocent heroine who is trying to go into the nunnery, but she doesn't want to become a nun without knowing and experiencing like sexual relations. And so she asks her, I think, brother's best friend to teach her sex. And I'm very excited. It's giving Mark and Lexi from Grey's Anatomy. And I know this is angsty. I know it's going to be a good time. And I'm very pumped to read this. Next, and the final book on my 8-book TBR for the month of July is Long Hard Ride by Lorelei James. I love Lorelei James. I read the Blacktop Cowboys series last year, and it's like a 10-book series of cowboy romances set in this like Wyoming town. Long Hard Ride is the first book in her Rough Riders series, and I know it's going to be smutty. I know it's going to be fun. I know that I'm basically guaranteed to love it because I love Lorelei James's writing and how her characters interact and just like the exploration of like their relationships. This, I don't know whether it's a Why Choose or like an MFM or an MFMM relationship, but I know it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be good, and I'm excited to get to it. I have the audiobook, and these books are basically like Lorelei James has started like really advertising these books really heavily on Instagram. So I'm excited to kind of get to read through them and experience them. But that is it for my TBR for the month of July. I'm very excited for all these reads, as you can tell. I will definitely pick up other reads throughout the month, but these are the ones that I'm like super excited to get to and want to get to most. And yeah, that is it for me today. Comment down below a book that is on your July TBR or a book that's on your radar. And if you don't know what to comment, you can comment a cowboy hat for Long Hard Ride by Lorelai James. And yeah, that is it for me today. I will see you guys later, and I love you, and bye.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.